And my Matumi.
No!
When I grow up, I want to be a Matumi.
Hello and welcome to President's Quarters. Well, I was just writing a couple of notes now and I thought, there's one of the most ignored but fundamentally important things you need to learn when you come to varsity or when you're in a space of higher learning. Is you know how when you're always studying but sometimes you're not productive. You're productive for 1 hour, then not productive anymore. Tomorrow you come back, you study, in that same space, you're not productive anymore. Or you're not reaching your goals, or you're not as fast as you should. Well, you might be experiencing what I call study space fatigue. And that's one of the most ignored, especially during examination, ignored parts. That people, and I've seen this happen a lot of times in libraries where someone literally owns or claims a chair or claims a space to be theirs. And you find you're one of those, always standing at that particular corner at the same time every single day. Well, my friend, one thing I can tell is you're not a machine. Meaning you're not programmed to always be at that point for the rest of the day or almost all the time. So study space fatigue is basically studying at the same space. You start off efficient and you get to a point. How do you actually fix this? So I applied this simple technique. Basically, I think every single student, you need to have at least 3 places where you study, right? Because the fundamental problem is, yes, you may be comfortable at that space, but are you very productive? And that's the tip with study spaces, is study where you're productive and not necessarily where you're always comfortable. Because if you're comfortable, even your efficiency or productivity levels, it's either they remain stagnant or continue to decrease over time. So my biggest advice is identify 3 different places where you know you can move around over time to study. So for me personally, those 3 study spaces would be 1, a certain library, 2 would be study room of the residence that I stay in, and the 3rd one can either be my room or another building on campus where I know I always study. And even when you study in the library, avoid always sitting at the same spot, right? Again, so that you ensure you're always productive. I mean, for the first 2-3 days you can sit, or the first week you can sit on that spot, but you need to learn to continue to move so that your productivity levels keep on increasing than remaining stagnant, right? That is fundamentally important when it comes to your study. I know many of us may be thinking, oh my gosh, I like staying at one place, but I always advise, if staying at one place is being productive, moving around will be super productive. Here's the problem about always staying on the same space, and this place, remember, it's not your room. So many other students share that same space, right? So what happens when the spot you so love, tomorrow there's another day, there's another person sitting there, are you going to kick them off? I mean, you don't own that space. So it's always safer when you move around in a library to ensure you're always effective and are on top of your books, versus being in a space where you're always comfortable and you reach your efficiency levels and you reach a cap. So my friends, I always advise you to ensure you have at least 2 to 3 study spaces. That will always help you to become efficient in every single thing that you do when it comes to your study. Because even your mind wants to grow, wants to change. It gets excited by growth, you know. So when you're not learning, when you're not changing, when you're not improving, your mind starts becoming dull. So all it's advisable for you to have different study spaces. And here's just a bonus point. You know, even when we take breaks, here's the mistake we do. Here's your phone, you put your phone next to your books, and you keep on studying. And in your studying, your phone being next to your books, it becomes fundamentally difficult for you to fully focus, because the minute you see a light, then you lose focus 100%. Now my advice is take your phone and put it in your bag, right? And it must not even be on vibrate, but it must be on super silent. If possible, airplane mode, so that you don't continuously have the urge. I hope this video helps you and adds value to your space and into your time. Otherwise, adios amigos, bye daki, gracias, ndoreboa. Please subscribe, share, like, tell your friends and friends' friends that the President's Quarters is where super student empowerment is, and let us improve, help each other to become better and more efficient. Sharp, sharp.